All right, today we are diving deep into a really specific and frankly powerful placement in Vedic astrology. We're going to break down what happens when the sun lands in the second house for a Scorpio ascendant. That's the sign that was rising on the horizon the moment you were born.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. Right out of the gate, we've got a pretty bold claim here. This isn't just some run-of-the-mill placement. Our source calls it a Raj Yoga giver, which in astrology is basically code for a combination that promises kingly status, power, and some serious success. So you gotta ask, why? So what is the secret sauce here? What makes this particular spot in the chart so potent? Let's unpack that core formula, because it's actually pretty elegant. Here's how it works. For a Scorpio ascendant, the sun is in charge of your 10th house. Think of the 10th house as your career, your public reputation. It's the CEO of your life's work. Now, this placement puts that CEO directly inside the second house, which is like the company treasury. It rules your money, your assets, even your voice. So you literally have the boss of your career sitting in the house of money. It creates this direct pipeline from your work to your wealth.
And what kind of person does this create? Well, you get some very distinct traits. These aren't just smart people, they come across as wise. When they speak, people listen. There's a natural confidence, a command. The source also points to a handsome appearance, a high level of social respect, and underneath it all, a spiritual mindset. It's the whole package, really.
But hold on, because the power here isn't just about what you see on the surface, the money and the strong personality. There are some hidden strengths that make these individuals incredibly resilient.
And here is the secret weapon. From its spot in the second house, the sun shines its light directly onto the 8th house. Now, the 8th house is all about crisis, sudden events, and transformation. The sun's powerful gaze acts like a protective shield on this tricky area of life. It's said to grant a long life, sharpen your survival instincts, and basically act as a bodyguard during a crisis. These people don't just handle pressure, they seem to thrive on it.
Now, this brings us to a really core quality. With the sun representing truth and the second house representing your voice, you get someone who tells it like it is, sometimes to the point of being brutally honest. They're not fake, they're not manipulative. You might not always love what they have to say, but you're definitely going to respect them for saying it. So every planet gets its time to shine, right? In Vedic astrology, we call this the Mahadasha. And when the sun's major period kicks in for these folks, all these positive themes just get turned up to 11. Career opportunities pop up everywhere. They see gains from the government or people in authority. Wealth really starts to pile up, and public recognition just soars. It's a hugely productive time. Okay, so the foundation is strong. We get that. But here's where the story gets really interesting. What happens when other planets show up to the party and join the sun in that second house? Let's go back to our analogy. If the sun is the CEO sitting in the treasury, any planet that joins it is like a new member on the board of directors. And as you know, depending on who is on the board, the entire direction of the company can change dramatically. First up, let's say Mercury joins the board. Mercury is all about intellect, communication, and business. You put that together with the sun's authority, and bam, you get brains meet authority. This creates a brilliant, strategic, business-savvy person who often has multiple streams of income and incredible social prestige. This is a top-tier combination. Now, what if Mars joins the sun? Mars is the planet of action, energy, and pure effort. The whole vibe changes. This combination just screams, I earned this. It's that hardcore, self-made energy. Wealth doesn't come from luck. It comes from rolling up your sleeves and putting in the work. No shortcuts, just pure grit. All right, now for what many would call the best-case scenario. Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, ethics, and expansion, joins the sun. This forms a really special combination for wealth. The result is pretty much what it says on the tin. Clean money, clean name. Success comes through ethical means, through wise counsel, and respected positions. But let's look at the flip side. What if Rahu joins the sun? Rahu is the shadow planet of obsession and worldly ambition. This creates what's called a Grahan yoga, or an eclipse. And yeah, the money and success might still show up, but there's always a catch. The recognition feels hollow, and there's this constant feeling of inner dissatisfaction. It's like having success without the peace of mind to enjoy it.
Now, let's add some glamour. Bring in Venus, the planet of art, beauty, and luxury. You get attractive authority. This person is often very wealthy, they might have a beautiful, charming voice, and they definitely love the finer things in life. This is a fantastic combo for any public-facing role where you need to win people over. Okay, what about the great disciplinarian Saturn? When Saturn joins the Sun, the theme is solid and lasting. This isn't a get-rich-quick story. This is about building wealth slowly, methodically, through responsibility and hard work. Authority might come later in life, but when it does, it is stable. It's built on a rock-solid foundation. And finally, we have the wild card, Ketu. Ketu is a planet of spirituality and letting go. When Ketu is with the Sun, things can get unpredictable. There can be sudden ups and downs in income, almost as if the universe is trying to teach you something. The ultimate goal here isn't about hoarding wealth. It's about learning a powerful spiritual lesson, that there's more to life than what's in your bank account. So we've looked at this incredibly strong starting position, and then we've seen all the twists and turns that other planets can bring. So what's the bottom line? What's the final verdict here? Here's the most important thing to remember. The base placement itself, the Sun in the second for Scorpio, is powerful. It's beneficial. It sets the person up for success. But the planets that are sitting there with the Sun are the final deciders. They shape the flavor, the texture, and the ultimate outcome of that success story.
And that's really what's so fascinating, isn't it? Just this one placement can tell such a detailed and nuanced story of a person's potential. It's a great reminder that your own chart is a unique narrative, a personal blueprint just waiting to be read. So the real question is, what story does yours have to tell?